Today we're going to be talking about monk-like discipline, but this is super powerful, and I'm just excited that I get to share this with everybody. So monk-like discipline is really being all in on your goals. All right, so you have to have a goal, and you have to be hungry. Right, you got to be hungry to succeed in life, and in order to truly succeed, though, a lot of gurus will tell you, you can have it all. Have an abundant mindset. Everything can be yours. And then in reality, you start to find out that life is short. And the only way to do and have what you truly want in life requires an extreme amount of focus and discipline. So success is the sum of your human willpower. And I love this. I find in everything I do, you have to have a serious amount of willpower. I remember before, even before the military, football, there would be these points in my life where I would feel exhausted and I just didn't think I could push myself any further. And then I would push myself and I would get to that breaking point where I'm like, oh, I need to quit. No, just a little more. And when I get to that breaking point, I would find that I have more to give and I have more that I can deliver. So where we are at right now, you showed up. We've kind of gone over, you got to have a mission. You got to have the vision is what we really went over. You got to know what your principles are. And right now you have to be ready to take that goal, take that mission and get to work and make it a reality. Right? If I am anything in this life, it is I am a creator because I am able to take the visions and the missions that I've had in my life and make them into my reality. And this is the skill that you need to learn. And the way you do this is focus. The missing piece right now, we know that what we want and we know who we need to become to get it, but actually executing it, seeing it through to the end, that's the hard part. That's the missing piece, especially in today's society with phone in your pocket, Netflix at night, a billion things that are just constantly leeching our attention, leeching our focus, never allowing us to do deep work. Or most people I don't even think know that they are capable of doing deep work and actually getting things done. The only time people work is because they have to at the job and they bitch and moan the whole time. Like if you really want to be successful, you have to find it within yourself to work on your reality and work on your goals or it will never happen. Success equals human will. And willpower is just a muscle, right? It's just like anything else. If you work your willpower, you'll find that it becomes easier. You'll find that it becomes stronger. You'll find that you'll be able to tap into it successfully more often. So study anyone who's insanely successful and you'll find that the height of their suffering and pain was equal to the height of their success. The reason they can take this suffering is due to their willpower. Michael Jordan had this moment in his career where he was finally, becoming extremely successful, but he found himself doing all these sponsorship gigs and going to all these events and being in the public eye. And he felt like he realized that he was slipping off of what got him to that success. What got him to that success was playing basketball. So if he starts focusing on all these other things, eventually he will not be playing at his top performance and all of those other things will fall off. So what he said at that moment is he just cut everything out of his life. He stopped going to events, he stopped doing partnerships, and he just went back to the routine and the success that got all those things in the first place, right? You can do all that fun stuff later when you're retired, but when it's time to focus and you have something going, you need to focus on it. What is willpower? The ability to control yourself, your impulses and actions, strong determination that allows you to do something different without giving up or getting distracted. Having this self-control is what willpower is. It's turning off the monkey brain and turning on that override mode, right? Putting yourself on manual mode and doing what needs to be done as opposed to getting distracted or, going off and doing other stuff. All right, developing self-discipline. Number 1, resist impulses. Resist all urges to eat, drink snacks, grab a treat, buy something, check social media. Okay, so the first step is basically resisting the impulses, right? And there's constant impulses. If you ever read the book, 7 Healthy Habits of Highly Effective People, there's this cool moment where he says that, you have a tennis ball in your hand and you can throw it up. And there's this moment where you can decide to catch the ball. You can decide to let the ball drop to the floor. You could decide to smack the ball with your hand. But in that moment, when you throw the ball in the air, there's this brief situation where you have the opportunity to choose how you react to life, right? And a lot of the time, what we do is we are just on impulse all the time. We are no longer thinking, and we are just instantly doing what we are pre-programmed to do. Our minds are developed to go to the most easy pathway. That's why, when you pick up your phone, you just automatically open up Facebook. You don't even know what you're doing, and you're already scrolling on one of these social media platforms, right? That's an impulse that we need to urge. Or you go and you just walk up to the fridge and you just start looking in the fridge for no freaking reason. Like, that is the equivalent of how we can start to resist these impulses and take our life off of the monkey brain and back to manual mode, back to developing our self-discipline, so that we can instead point our energy towards what we truly want in life, which is to achieve our goals, to be successful. Number 2, you have to love pain. All of these feel good, prissy fissy life is just a bunch of burritos and rainbows. Not if you want to be successful. Not if you truly want to escape the rat race. If you truly want to be successful in business. Okay, every day you should be taking yourself to that dark place. Confront the difficulties, feel the pain, and then learn to love it. Love the pain. Love the grind. Find a way to enjoy the hard work, because life is a lot of hard work. And the more you can find to love it or be okay with it, it's going to be painful, and that's okay. It's going to be hard, and that's okay. And you need to embrace it, embrace the shadow side. But yeah, embrace the work too, right? If you feel like you're working too hard, you're burnt out, but you're working towards your goals. You're working towards the best version of yourself. You're working towards something that actually matters. Push through the pain. Find that threshold. Instead of breaking down impulses, find a way to love the pain. And again, it's going to be hard. Nobody said it's going to be easy. Nobody said that everything is magically just going to come to you. That's not how reality works. You have to work really hard for what you want. Life is a fight for territory, and you have to learn to love the fight. All right, number 3, exercise. And this is really just to keep your mind clear, your body feeling good. I'm sitting in this desk, and I've had periods of life where I just work, and I'm on like 1,000 freaking Zoom calls, and my body starts to deteriorate, and I get sick. And it makes me kind of chuckle, because like I used to do hard labor work, and then now I'm sitting on my ass all day and I'm getting sick compared to when I was doing hard labor work, right? You have to take care of your body though. And I like working first thing in the morning. I especially do this routine for my day trading, because I find that if I just roll out of bed and I go to the computer, like, my brain is not switched on. And I like waking up super early, because I like to wake up before all my problems are even awake. I like to wake up before the sun. I like to wake up before all my problems have even had a chance to creep into my day, right? I don't even want to turn on Slack. I don't even want to look at my phone for the first few hours of the day. I want to just work out. I go for a run. I stretch. Sometimes I'm getting really into kettlebells. So I've just been going wild with the kettlebells and, bench press and throwing weights around. But you got to wake up every day and take care of yourself, regardless of whether you want to. Okay, you got to love the burn, right? And it's just the best thing you can do for your life. Best thing you can do for your body and your mind is consistently work out. Okay, then you need to eat clean. This is all about self-discipline. Okay, resist the impulses. Even if if you tell yourself that you're going to get in better shape, or you're going to eat good food, every time you go out and you eat processed food, you are putting mystery meat and mystery oils and mystery chemicals into your body, and then you're wondering why you feel like shit all the time, right? The reality is, if you eat clean, right? If you just eat, you can eat a lot of food, but it has to be like unprocessed food. You just got to eat steak, chicken, vegetables, all that kind of stuff, fruits that are natural, and you're going to feel a lot better. And the idea is not to be like your health coach, but it's to use your food as energy. If you can truly focus on your goals, and you have clean energy, and you have clean focus, and your mind isn't foggy, and you don't feel like crap, this is going to allow you to be way more successful. Okay, so eat clean, get a healthy diet plan, and stick to it. Weaning yourself off of flavor will sharpen your senses and mind. Number 5, meditate. Meditate for 20 minutes every day before you work, and do it religiously without ever missing a single day. Now, meditation is very woo-woo, but it's literally just sitting down, clearing your mind and breathing. Okay. And the reason it's so powerful is a lot of people can't even do it. They can't sit down and clear their mind. They haven't learned this way of controlling their thoughts. Thoughts will come and go through your mind, but you don't have to latch onto them all the time. You don't have to be taken on these emotional roller coasters because your emotions in your brain are firing. You can learn to silence the mind, and this will allow you to cleanse your thoughts and have a clearer purpose on what you're going to be doing with your life and what you're going to be doing with your day. Like meditation is fasting for the mind. We've all heard, if you fast, if you stop eating food, your body will clean up its insides. It'll clean out all the bad chemicals and it will go back to a clean base. It's the same thing with your mind. If you can learn to silence your mind and silence the thoughts, just 20 minutes a day of just sitting down, breathing, and trying to not think of anything, you will find yourself more. You will come back to what is true as opposed to just having the whirlwind of, news and social media and work and family and friends and having all this noise, right? You need moments of peace or your system will fry, right? You need to be able to find a way to meditate daily. And then sleep. Sleep is a self-discipline. Make sure you go to bed and you wake up at the same time every day. Don't waver. This is important. This is very important. It's hard. It's not easy, especially when you first start out. I really like sleep. I love sleep. I wish I could be the world's greatest sleeper. I think it's probably from the military, but I can fall asleep standing up. Like I have no problem. But I try and go to bed between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, and I try and wake up every day at 5 a.m. And on the weekends, I do sleep in a little bit, but I find it hard to keep the routine. So I think it is way more powerful if you have an alarm for when you should go to sleep. Have an alarm for when you're going to wind down. And again, this comes back to, it's hard to go to sleep early, right? You want to watch your Netflix show, or, you want to read your book, or you want to do that thing that you didn't get to do all day. But having discipline and having the energy that you need to truly be successful requires that you get the minimum amount of sleep that you need to function at your highest capacity. And when you become an entrepreneur, or when you really want to be something, the better your brain is firing, the more well-rested you have, the cleaner the energy, the better the energy you have, the more power you're going to be able to bring into the day. So you have to have a discipline for when you go to sleep and when you wake up, and you do not want to waver from that time. Okay, organization. Keep your house, your office, your car, your drawers, your desktop, your emails. Try and keep it clean. Okay. Try and keep it organized. Try and have a method to your madness. I am not the most organized person, but I do find that if my workspace starts to get cluttered, or if my house starts to get cluttered, it is a representation of where my mind is at. And when I finally clean everything up, I open up myself to new opportunities because it's clean. Money loves cleanliness. Right? If you're ever at work and you're not doing anything, you can at least start sweeping. But keeping your office clean, keeping your car clean, your house clean, just try and have a day where you just get everything back into order. And it's going to make your life a lot easier, because then you're not using as much mental willpower to move stuff, right? You clean and you keep it at that base. Next is time management. Plan your months, plan your weeks, plan your days and hours deliberately, and stick to it, and say no to everything else. One of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett is, if you're trying to decide what to do, write down 5 of the most important goals that you want to achieve in your life, and then cut out 2 of them. It's just like, ouch. But this will allow you to have better time management. In order to have good time management, you need to do less. Too many people are trying to do too much stuff. You need to know exactly what your goal is, and then you need to reverse engineer it from where you are today, the base, all the way to where you want it to be. Okay. And then you need to break it down. And then you just do it by either by quarters, right? Plan your quarter, or just start with the month, right? The month is a good number. Just say, okay, by the end of this month, I will have done this, this, and this. Okay. If I have to do this, this, and this by the end of the month, then I have to do this, this, and this week, this, and this day, this, and this each hour of that day, so that I can truly get and be successful. This is how true professionals manage their time. This is how you can manage your time. This is how you can get monk-like discipline and laser focus and achieve your goals and make your goals become a reality. Set goals. Always look at your mission. Okay. Always look at your vision. Always have it handy, because you are going to forget. you are going to forget what you're doing. You are going to forget your mission. You are going to get ADD. But if you know what your goal is and you've written it down and you visualized it every single morning and you look at it multiple times per day, you are going to snap back to reality. You are going to take action on that goal. If that goal is off on some other desk or not in your car or not in your pocket, like, you're going to forget what you're doing. You're going to forget where you should be focusing your time. So write down your mission, write down your goal, be very, very clear, and then always look at it and get it even clearer every single day. Add pictures, create a vision board, know what you're fighting for. You know, I have a picture of my family on my desk, and it's because I am working so that they can have a better life, right? And that's what you want to be doing. And you want to know why you're fighting for that. Okay. Then you want to have your goals, you want to have your monthly goals, and you want to have a war map. You want to have an action step planner for every step that you're going to achieve and what it looks like. Next is going to be gratitude. Always looking to the future can cause fear, anxiety, stress. So practice gratitude for what you have today. A lot of times we get too far out. It seems like too much, but you can just start with what you have here now and be grateful for it. And having a gratitude practice can bring you back to the present moment. Relentless persistence. All right. Stick to your plan daily and never waver despite emotions, drama, failure, or uncertainty. Talk about sacrifice and giving everything to win. And I can already hear the excuses. You know, I don't want to sacrifice anything. Okay. Then you're not going to win. You're not going to get what you want. Sacrificing is what it takes to be successful. It is what it takes to achieve your goals and achieve what you truly want in life. And sacrifice is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But how bad do you want it? People often talk a big game and say they're hungry, but as soon as you get them to sacrifice something they care about, they reveal their true character and their true priorities. Oh, I got to watch my TV shows. No, you don't. Oh, I got to go drink on Fridays with my friends. No, you don't. And sacrificing isn't killing something for no reason. It is adding fuel to the positive things in your life. Sacrificing the things that take away from achieving your goal is giving to your goal. Sacrifice fuels the fire. Every time you sacrifice something, it's like taking that thing, all of your thoughts about it, and all of your time spent on it, and throwing it on a fire. And now you can actually use those thoughts and you can use that time and put it towards you so you can burn brighter, so you can focus more alertly on achieving your goal, on building your business, on scaling your side hustle, on getting in shape, on finding the love of your life, on traveling the world. So every time you sacrifice something, it's not that you're taking that thing away, but as opposed to you are replacing that time and energy into the thing that's more important, into the thing that you value the most, into getting what it is that you want in life. Winners sell their souls. Study the GOATs, the greatest of all time, and see what they sacrificed to win. They gave up everything. They dedicated their entire being, their entire existence to the relentless pursuit of the goal. Name anybody great they sacrificed so that they could achieve that goal. Burn the boats. All right, me personally, I gave up my social life. I had to leave my state, my friends, my family. I don't drink or party. I don't have hobbies or friends. Every waking minute I have, I dedicate full intensity to my work. Every dollar is invested in my business because I am all in. I'm not half-assing this because I want the success. I want the greatness. I want my vision and my life to be, I want to be the master of my ship, right? Captain of my vessel. And I have big dreams. In order to achieve those, you have to make sacrifices. Finding things to sacrifice. All right, we have 100 units of time. All right, this is a powerful exercise that I do monthly to see where my time goes. This is how it works. For 7 days, I track what I do for every 30 minutes. Okay, I usually either have a spreadsheet or I just have a piece of paper. And I write down the 30-minute increment from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. And I do this for 7 days. And it is a pain in the ass, but these will be the most productive 7 days of your entire life because you will be tracking what you're doing. And because you have the 30-minute increment, you will try and get as much as you possibly can done in this 30 minutes. It's insane. And then you'll also find yourself, oh, I just scrolled on TikTok for 30 minutes. Or I talked to some old friend and the conversation was stupid for 30 minutes, right? You will find things to sacrifice. You will find things that you can easily cut out of your life because they are, in fact, taking away from you pursuing your goal, and they are just a waste of your time. Okay. At the end of the 7 days, you can then categorize the activities into buckets, and then you can calculate how much time went into each bucket. So you can like put one bucket for Netflix, right? Where you just watch, one bucket social media scrolling, one bucket buying groceries and shopping around or just wasting time, one bucket just stuck in traffic. Like there's lots of things that you can find to sacrifice if you actually manage and watch your time and you care about how important and how valuable your time is. A lot of this comes down to just valuing yourself and your self-worth and loving yourself enough to do the necessary work to have the necessary success so you can be free. Okay, sacrifice. Every activity that isn't related to your goal, eliminate it completely. I don't care about your feelings. If you want to win, you'll get rid of it. If you want to hang on to your little thing, do it. But just know that it will cost you everything. And I can hear you saying this now, but I can get rid of it. You just don't want to, and you're scared. Created a lie in your head that this thing is necessary and that your business or you need it. You don't. Even your family? No, not your spouse, not your family or your health. Okay. You still need sleep. You still need food. You still need exercise, and you need loving relationships. Without these things, your limbic system will play havoc on you and harm your focus. But you can spend less time on these things, though. You can, and the time that you do spend with them will be more valuable. You'll have intention behind it because you'll know that this is family time. So now we're going to talk about how this all works. Okay. So we're going to create a feedback system, and we're going to understand what feeding the grid is and how doing these things will change your life. This is so you can get the most out of your life and be more successful. It's like a normal person puts in 1 unit of work, they get 1 unit out. If you can get your focus, if you can sacrifice everything, you can put 1 unit in and get 10x the amount out, 10x of the results. You can move faster. You can move mountains. You can change your entire life in a matter of months. Okay, so inputs. So again, you really have to have a clear goal. If you don't have a goal, if you don't know what you want in your life, that's where you need to start. You have to have this clear goal. You have to have this mission. You have to have this principle. I don't even like goals. I like missions. When I was in the military, I had a goal to, be in the Army, right? And I would just party on the weekends and fuck off all the time. But when I had a mission, I was one of the most lean killing machines in the fucking Army, right? If I had a mission of what I was doing, me and my squad were locked in tight and we were focused on achieving that mission. Have a mission for what you're trying to accomplish. Have it written down, have the numbers, have the plans, have the actions that need to be done, have the inputs that need to happen to get the outputs. Okay. So have clear goals and time management. So this means you have your goal and then you break it down step by step, reverse engineer it. What needs to happen to achieve that goal? How much time is each one of these things going to take for me to achieve that goal? And then make a plan so you can work on it every single day. And then you have to have self-awareness and have to know your future self. You have to be able to see what your life is going to be like. Who is this person going to be that once this goal is achieved, what is your life going to be like? Right? If you are in your 20s or 30s or younger, even if you just lock yourself for 12 months in a room with a computer and you build your business, you will make more money than everybody you've ever known, and you'll have the rest of your life to fuck off and do things. But you have to commit to pain that it takes to make this happen in the beginning, and you have to be able to have a long-term vision. So many people want 5-star 7-course meals on a microwave, timeline. You have to have a long-term vision, and you have to understand that if you put the necessary work in, you will get what you want. You will achieve the mission. You will achieve your goal. So you have to have that future self. You have to understand you are working for that future self, right? So that your future self, if you fuck off now, your future self will have to work twice as hard. If you work twice as hard now, your future self can have free time, can do all the other things that it wants to do, right? And you have to have self-awareness. You have to be conscious of your time, of your body, of your thoughts, of your mind, of your food, of your energy levels. Then you have to have self-discipline and control. If your whole life is dictated by other people, it's obviously you don't have any self-control, because once you take control of yourself, once you take accountability and you realize everything in your life is your fault, everything in your life is your actions, now you can create the life that you want. You can stop blaming the government and blaming your town and blaming your people, blaming your friends and family. No, it's all on you. And once you admit that, then you can start to take self-control, and you can take control of your life, because you'll know that if I do these things, I will get this output. I will get this result. Commit to clean food and daily exercise, meditation, and then you have to learn how to sacrifice all the things that are stopping you from achieving your goals, that are stopping you from getting where you want to be. And then you have to go all in. This means all in mentally, all in with your energy levels, all in financially, and you will achieve success. The beautiful thing about this is if you can do this, nothing can stop. There is nothing that will get in your way. You will have control of your life, which is what most people want and they don't have. Process and channeling. Okay, so what is the number one priority for the long-term vision? Figure this out. Okay, if this is the number one priority, I need to create a process that I can work on this and get there every single day to get to my long-term vision. Remove all of the stimulants that are not this. Okay, so figure out what the most priority are. You should have a list of priorities, of actions that you need to take every day to make it happen. And then you need to remove all the stimulants. One of the hacks from Alex Hormozi is you can change the color on your screen to make it black and white. Then you won't want to scroll, right? You can basically put in earplugs, put on headphones so that you can't hear anything, put yourself in a dark room, and then make a list of all the things that you need to do, and then just start racking and stacking. Just work on your list of priorities that you need to get done every single day, and embrace the pain. Embrace how hard it is in the beginning, and it will get easier as time goes on. But removing your phone, removing distractions, removing people, find a quiet place, stop watching TV at night, stop hanging out with people that are just distracting you. Okay. Remove all of the stimulants that are not number one, your priorities, that are not helping you achieve your goals. And then whenever people say, hey, can you help me out this weekend? Say no. Whenever people trying to get you to go and do something other than, you work on your goals, learn how to say no to as many things as possible. Have a season of no. Okay. Instead of being a yes man who just does everything, have a season of no, where you say no to everything. You're working on your goals. You are fighting for your life, and you are fighting to achieve what is important to you so that you can do more with your life. Okay. And a lot of people it's okay to spend time with your family. It's not okay to every single day have to talk to them for an hour, go visit them, help them with something. And then you wonder why you're not getting any of your work done. You wonder why your life is falling apart, because you're spending so much time screwing around with other people's stuff when you need to prioritize, and you need to love yourself enough to say no, and then only deviate if it's necessary for survival. Business needs something to happen. If it's life and death, if it has to come down to survival, obviously do what you need to do to survive. And then you'll get the outputs. Okay, so inputs, clean energy, vision, working on your life, the process, what you do every single day. What is your system? Are you dialed in to get this done? You will get the outputs, the results. The intensity of your focus, deliberate action will deliver the results. Completing things and shipping things. This is the most important thing. Steve Jobs was obsessive about making everything for the Mac as clean as possible and as easy as possible. And at one point, he had the entire team pop open the insides of the MacBook and reorganize it so that even the insides of the computer were very organized and clean and beautiful. And people thought he was completely crazy. He was for doing that, but he knew that it mattered. And then at some point, they were wrapping that up, and he had to ship the product. And it wasn't completely like he wanted it, but he said, okay, great artists ship. Okay, so you have to ship things. You have to get them out. You can't just keep tinkering on your craft and never share them with the world. You have to complete things, and you have to finish them, and you have to ship them. I've done this so many times, and you always think, oh, no, I didn't do this little tiny thing, but only you know that. Nobody else knows that. You need to ship your products and get it out into the world as fast as possible. And then you need to make sure that you are making progress and getting results. If you are doing all these things, but you're not making any progress or getting results, then you're focused on the wrong priority. You're focused on the wrong thing. You need to go back to the drawing board and figure out, what can I focus on that will have the biggest impact? And then finally, we can create a feedback. Increase or decrease the energy and focus. If you increase your time and your focus on your project, what is happening on the other end? If it's YouTube videos, how many views are the new YouTube videos? How many videos are you publishing out? How high is the quality? How much is this really reaching? If it's sales, how many sales have I increased by just focusing on my sales process, right? And then you need to measure the results and the baseline of your goals. So like the baseline is like where you are now, okay? And the goal is way up here. So if you're here and the goal is here, and you look, and in 30 days you really focus and you got everything, how close did you get to your goal? Like, are you a little bit? Are you almost there? How close did it get to? And then you need to track these things on a daily basis so that you know, is the baseline moving? Am I getting closer to my goal? And then that's how you build momentum. Okay. And a lot of people forget to also look back. They forget to realize like their goal might still really be far ahead. But then if you look back at all you've done, you will be able to start to build momentum from this. And you'll start to know what it is that's important. Does this variable combination work or doesn't it work? Does more time and more focus on this specific task for this many days or this many hours, does it get me closer to my goal? If it doesn't, got to go back to the drawing board. But if you know what you're doing and you are working on it every single day and you are laser focused and you are sacrificing everything else, I guarantee you will start to get closer to your goal. There is just that tipping point sometimes where nothing happens, tipping point. Boom, fast path in your life, fast path to your goals, fast season where everything just rapidly works out for you. Focus, channeling your energy into the grid. Okay, so this is just the formula for focus and energy. Okay, focus is to concentrate all available energy into a sharp central point. It's like, imagine a laser, right? And all the lights come together to create this point. And that focus point is so sharp, you can cut through wood with it, right? You can cut through iron with it. And this is what you are with your consciousness, with your actions. You are so focused that everything can become so much more powerful, right? So the equation is energy plus focus equals results, right? This is what we all want. We want to put time plus focus into our goal to get the results. And to do this at a superhuman level, you need good sleep. You need to eat well. You need to know what you're doing. You need to visualize. You need to have the time, and then you need to do the deep work. And if you do these things, you can have anything you want in life. You can have any result that you want in life. There is nothing that can stop you. Okay, and then you have leverage. Okay, focus is a multiplier of energy and your major leverage points. Right, you can't leverage much from energy, but you can leverage the amount of focus that you put into a project. Channeling energy into the grid. And what is the grid? Okay, so the grid is your life, right? As an entrepreneur, the grid for me is all the moving parts in my business, right? I have my sales department, the CSM, the client success management, the marketing department, the fulfillment, the clients, right? And this is my grid, and it's just like an energy grid. Like you have a power plant, and then all of the little cords go out to these different cities, and the electricity goes in, right? So when you're channeling your energy into the grid, you're going to need a way to track everything in your life. Okay, this is where my health is, right? This is where my finances are. This is where my relationships are. This is where my business is, right? And then this is the grid now. You are the energy source in the middle of these things. And you have to be able to super hyper focus on one of these until it is back to optimum level and running at full steam. Then you need to zoom back out and see, okay, where in my life, in my energy grid, do I need to focus now? Okay, this one needs improvement. Super focus on this and then pull it back out. Okay, so imagine your business as an energetic grid, a network of interconnected power providers and consumers that are connected by transmission and distribution lines and operated by control centers and control systems. Entrepreneur's job is to oversee, balance, and manage the health of the entire system. Okay, or if you have a job, it is your job to manage your work and your income and your outputs. Okay, with the job, you just need to make sure you don't have a job that's capped you, right? You need to have more opportunities so that the more focus and the more energy you get in, the more results you get out, right? But as an entrepreneur, as a business coach, business owner, you have to balance all these different systems all the time. Okay, so you get your products, you get your team, your process, your customers. So then you need to be able to prioritize and focus. All right, masterful entrepreneurs learn how to rapidly scan the entire grid. All right, check its health and then allocate energy, time, and money where it is most useful to the overall system. This requires prioritization and focus and serves, number one, Obviously, you have to focus on survival. If your business is at risk, if your health is at risk, if your family's at risk, if you have to do something to survive, that's where all your energy and focus goes until it gets back. And then number 2 is achieving the vision and mission. Okay, if you want more money, if you want more success, okay, number 1, survival, take care of everything for survival, and then laser focus on every step, the next steps, the priorities that you have to do to achieve the vision and the mission. You got to optimize for goals. All right. So obviously, number 1, ensure survival. Number 2, achieve vision and your mission. Okay. So now let's just talk about like, how can this process work sometimes? And then you have to sacrifice for fuel. You have to master your laser focus, and then you can achieve your goals. But how can this process go wrong? Success is the constant progress towards your goals, right? Constant progress towards goals and towards vision. So if you sacrifice everything and you focus and you know and you prioritize on your goal and you are consistent with this, you look at your mission every day. You basically look at your goals. You have what you're working towards, and every day you are laser focused and you stay consistent for a long period of time, you will have insane success. Okay, stagnation means you are inconsistent with the progress of your vision, right? One day you're super fired up, you're super focused. Next day you fall off and you don't do anything. You have to stay consistent with the focus. You have to stay consistent with the discipline. You have to enjoy the pain of the work that you're doing every day. And then failure, you make no progress. You don't focus. You don't stay consistent. You don't prioritize. You don't visualize. You don't take care of your health. Then you will not see success. This is how the process will go wrong. So you have to learn how to stay focused, right? How to sacrifice for fuel, right? Sacrifice everything that's not building you up or giving to your goal. You have to master your laser focus, and you have to master your work, and then you will be able to achieve your goal. So consistency and having unwavering commitment to your goal. How do we do that? Number 1, system performance, right? It's an output and efficiency of your system over a long period of time. Again, your goals are big goals. I hope you're trying to change the world or make a massive business or have a massive impact. These are long-term plays that you have to stay consistent with for a long period of time. And again, the more focus though, and the more time you can put into it, the faster you can bring this into reality. The faster it will all come towards you. But you still have to have a system, and you have to have a performance, and you have to track this. All right. So the performance equation, output time divided by input and time equals your performance. Okay, so how much time do you have to put into something in order to get the end result over time? And then you have to have the consistency to stick with it, right? You have to never deviate as well. The number 1 reason for failure and inconsistency is forgetting the vision, the mission, or the goal. Never waver. That's why you need to write it down, and you need to have this available at all times so you can remember what it is, because you are a very forgetful person. You know, we all are. And you have to be able to work on this consistently. And you have to know what it is, and then you have to never deviate from the goal. How to stay consistent. Okay, don't forget the goal. Keep tracking your performances. Track them daily. You know, what did I do in my goal today? What is the baseline? Am I getting closer to my goal? And then keep optimizing your inputs and system. Keep figuring out, how can I focus more on this? How can I have a cleaner mind? How can I have more energy? How can I put more time into this? Right? And keep optimizing the inputs in your system and measuring their effect and outputs to pursue your goal until it's perfect, right? Until perfection, essentially. Main failure reasons are people are forgetting the goal. All right, they get distracted. The inputs vary, right? They're not doing the same inputs every day. They're throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Whereas if you have this exact plan and you know what you're going to be doing, and you never take your eyes off the metrics and basically accept that there are inefficiencies, but that you can improve, you'll be able to change it. And it's always avoidable. But if you can keep your eyes on the ball 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you will achieve your goal. Once you have all this dialed in, once you have your goal, you've sacrificed, you know your daily tasks that you have to do, and you're on the railroads for your mission, you do not want to deviate. This is key. Do not deviate. All right. Even though we want to deviate, a lot of people also will hit a wall, right? And they'll give up. The wall will win. Okay. But if you are truly successful, if you truly want what you want, you have to be somebody who, when life hits you, because life will hit you back, Murphy's Law, it's naturally something is going to go wrong. You find a way to get back up and go through that wall. You dig under the wall. You learn how to high jump. You dig through the middle of the wall, like whatever it is, but you do not let it stop you because you are a force. Okay. And you have to stay on the rails. All right. In order to stay on the rails, you need metrics, you need controls, and you need to observe to monitor these metrics and controls. So have a spreadsheet, have a journal that you write in daily. What am I doing today to get closer to my goal? How close am I? And you need to track your KPIs, right? This is a key thing. If you don't track it, it will never get tracked. All right, so you got to have your vision and your mission. Okay, this is the system to stay on the rails. Have a vision, have your mission, principles. Okay, keep these handy at all time. Write down your goal. Look at them multiple times a day. What is your goal? What is your purpose for life? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Okay, understand the base self and the future self. You are here. You want to get here. You want to be the future version. What can you do every day to get closer to that future version of yourself? Okay. I have worksheets inside of my school. Self-discipline. All right. You have to keep your inputs consistent. All right. Keep eating the good foods. Keep exercising daily. Stay hydrated. Sleep well. Meditate. Monitor your behavior. Next, you can get an Oura Ring. Oura Rings will help you track your sleep. You can also get like an Apple Watch, but learn what it is like when you feel good, when you are in the zone. What did you do to get to that point? Oh, I got 8 hours of sleep. I ate a really good breakfast. I worked out and I knew what I was doing, and it just all flowed. Okay. Repeat that. Do that every single day. All right. Keep track of your health. Have a sheet that goes over, how did you feel today? What did you eat today? How many hours did you sleep? And keep going over that. Have a war map. Have a calendar so you know what you're doing every month, every week, every day, every hour until you can achieve your goal. And then have a prioritization tool to know, okay, these are all the things I need to do. Which one of these things takes the least amount of time and will have the highest impact? So you can prioritize what you're doing. And then you need to track your metrics, right? Track your growth, track your revenue, track everything. The more you can track, the better. And then if you can't do any of these, then you probably should get a coach, right? You need to have someone that'll hold you accountable, have someone that will keep you focused, have someone that'll help you stay on track so that you can truly be successful. All right, I hope that was really helpful. I think this is very, very powerful. There's not too many other people out there that are doing this kind of work that are truly in it to win it. But in order to win, you got to have laser focus on your goal. And you have to believe that if I put in the time and I focus and I get better at this system, that you will be able to achieve anything you want in life. And that is the power of this and having monk-like discipline. I hope you guys like this. We'll be having some more of these videos. Let me know if you have any questions or any comments before we wrap up. Otherwise, have a good rest of your day. I hope you go forth and crush it.